Personally, I was depressed for years and I didn't even know that I was depressed. In fact, as educated as I am, I used to think that depression is something poor people go through. Poor and unfortunate, underprivileged people go through. I thought like maybe because they don't have enough money, maybe because they're undergoing so much lack and insufficiency, they can't help but feel low, inferior, and in their shell. But guys, with all that I still have, depression still managed to get me. I wasn't born with a silver spoon, but my daddy did great. I mean, from at least age 8, 9, 10, my daddy was so wealthy. He contested for gubernatorial elections. He almost became a governor. That's how wealthy we were. He's a professor in mathematics education as I speak. Senior lecturer in universities. My mom, a health medical practitioner. My mom also a barrister at law. Me, I'm an accountant. Like, money was never the problem. When I graduated, I progressed into Nollywood, where I made fame in no time. And of course, with fame came money, but still I managed to be depressed. Now, let me give you a little background on depression. Depression is a mental dysfunction, and generally speaking, many things can trigger mental illness or mental dysfunction. It could be from the genes. When it runs in your DNA, you can't escape it. If you're lucky to have escaped it by virtue of genes, something that will happen or may have happened in life could trigger it, like trauma. Loss of a loved one can trigger depression. Accidents causing a head bump can trigger mental illness, depression. Pregnancy and childbirth can trigger mental illness. Poverty can trigger mental illness. Now, let's stay on track with depression. Because it is a mental disorder, you literally have to reprogram your mind to escape it. I say this a lot on my stream. Nothing that has happened to you there's nothing that's happened to you that has not happened to anybody in life. Whether it was or it was just a heartbreak, or you lost to somebody, your father, your mother, your child, it happens to people. Meaning that you shouldn't let it consume you. It might seem deep, but honey, I challenge you to think of it as not that deep. Because it is because of how much you carry it, the magnanimity of it, how mountainous it cuts across in your head. That's how, when you remember it, you're scared of the thought, scared of the feeling, afraid to go there. The memory haunts you. You're unable to sleep. It messes you up. You're scared. You have anxiety. You have panic disorder. You have sleepless nights. You're losing weight. You're becoming antisocial. And that brings me to the valid question. Is it worth it? The fact that incident that happened, that you're holding on for so long, is wrecking you. Tell yourself that it's not that deep. Life is 1% what happens to you and 99% how you react to it. Whatever it is, shake it up.
You know, when people come out like this to discuss their experience, what they've gone through, when you hear their stories, it's always very good and very important that you at least learn from them and then let them serve as a reason for you to like kind of know how to handle things in life and then how to pass through tough times. So the beauty of this is that it's coming from someone that's well known and then someone who we can see and we can relate with, narrating her experience, what she has went through and everything, and despite the fact that she financially she was okay and everything. So when she's talking in this manner, you understand that anybody can be faced with depression and everybody can be faced with life challenge and everything. So major take home, what I love most about what he said is that he said in life, what happens to you is 1%, and the way you react and the way you handle the situation is 99%. So that was a very brilliant one, because I can relate with it very well. And then She also said that nothing has happened to you that nobody has ever been through. Those are two very important points that I understood very well in that video and everything. So last week or something, I was going through a tough time and I was just trying to like kind of manage my emotions and everything. So a friend of mine now visited and we were discussing, and somehow we managed to like kind of got to the point when he started narrating his experience, his life and what he has been through, even his marital life and everything. We discussed for a very lengthy period of time. We talk in length. So after everything and all, when he told me all that he has been through, I looked at him and I shook my head and I said, I was like, and yet you went through all of this, you are still here standing, and then you are still this friendly and this calm. You are a strong man. So after that experience, that was like a moral booster. That like it was something that really encouraged me and gave me a good reason for me to dust off or shake off whatever it is I was going through that was like kind of hitting me deep and everything. So I was like, it was God that sent this guy at this moment, because this was the kind of talk, the kind of story, the kind of experience I would like to listen to, and you are someone I can relate very well with. So you see, in life sometimes when you are passing through tough times, we should try to talk to people, and we should also try to learn from other people's experience and other people's story, because if you hear what they've also been through and they are alive and they are still healthy and they are still walking about, then you understand that sometimes what you're even thinking that is too big, that nobody has ever seen, is a very small thing compared to what people have seen, compared to what people have experienced, and they manage to like kind of get out of it. So whatever it is that you are going through, just learn to be strong and understand that there's nothing new. People have seen something more terrible, something more serious, and something more disastrous, and yet they came out of it. So your own is not the worst, and you will not be the last. All right. Thank you very much for watching. Don't lie is my name.